Hello everyone! Welcome to United Us, the podcast that brings people together through stories. I'm Olex.
And I'm Volo. In this episode, we are diving into the world of migration and migrants in Scotland. It's a story of courage, challenges, and new beginnings.
Migration reflects the cultural diversity of modern societies. For decades, it has shaped the face of cities, their voices, rhythms, and vision of the future.
Moving to a new country means facing new challenges, learning new rules, and sometimes even new language.
I feel very comfortable. I feel very happy. Sometimes I say to my friends, I am living in a small paradise.
The new cultural, the new experiences, the sharing of different traditions, I think is very positive.
I meet a lot of interesting people. I have brilliant teachers, and I'm really happy.
Forget the world to an extent, or forget the problems that you have, and focus on just being yourself. A lot of people say they come and it's to relax.
I love it here. I originally came just for a holiday, really, back in 2005. And I just loved the UK. I loved the people.
Everybody has different accent, and I don't like that when people tell me that I have an accent. Sometimes say, what accent? What do you mean?
On ESOL course at Edinburgh College, I met a lot of different nice people from different countries. And this course unite all of us.
I can only see positives in the work that we do here at Edinburgh College.
People migrate for different reasons. Sometimes there are so dramatic stories.
For many, the journey starts right here at Edinburgh College. Students from all over the world arrive here to study, work, and aspire to a better future.
That's where ESOL comes in, English for speakers of other languages.
It's more than just a course. It's a lifeline for many migrants, helping them find their voice in a new world.
Why are we here? What united us? And what can we achieve together? These are the questions we will explore in this episode.
My name is Sarah Donner. I'm the head of school for the college-based ESOL department in Edinburgh College. I can relate to migrants in a number of ways. Firstly, my husband is from Kenya. So obviously he's a migrant into the country. And I know the whole process that we had to go through to help him become a citizen. And also I've lived overseas in a number of countries. So I lived in Turkey for 3 years and I lived in Indonesia for 2 years. So I know how it feels to try and integrate into a new culture. It can be quite stressful, frustrating if you're going through the process of going to a new country, trying to fit into their customs, their way of life. So that can be the negative side of migration. But on the positive, just the new cultural, the new experiences, the sharing of different traditions, I think is very positive. So I have mixed emotions, but on the whole, positive. The ESOL department that I'm head of obviously is doing a big part of that job, along with the community-based ESOL department. So we really try to help students improve their English, because if they don't have access to English, they don't have access to so many services and facilities. So just by helping people improve their English at the really low levels, we're helping them to integrate. And at the higher levels, when we move on to employability skills, study skills, then we're really helping new people into the country to find a route through to their career or their studies so that they can really feel at home in this country.
I'm Amy, and I work with the ESOL team. And I'm originally from South Africa. I moved to Scotland in 2006. I went to England in 2005 and then came up to Scotland. So yeah, I've been here almost 20 years. South Africa has 11 official languages. So we do quite a few at school, but my mother tongue was English. I love it here. I originally came just for a holiday, really, back in 2005. And I just loved the UK. I loved the people. I loved so many different people, all kinds of cultures, all sorts of backgrounds. So yeah, I've always felt it's very positive, and Scotland was very welcoming. And I've just had a great time. So yeah, decided to stay and integrate, and I've been working ever since.
I'm Carol Butters, and I'm a curriculum team manager in the ESOL department. I have friends who live in Edinburgh who have come from different parts of the world. So in both these areas, I benefit from understanding different parts of the world and finding out more information about the world. And I find it so rewarding and so rich to be working and in that kind of area. There are two things that always come to my mind. And the first is why? What has happened for somebody to leave their home, leave everything that is important to them in their lives, and to come and find a new home? So that's the first thing that I always think of when I hear migration or migrant. What is it? What is it? And usually or often it's very difficult circumstances. And the second thing, that as I get older, and because I've got children, I think, could this one day be me? Could this one day be my family or my children? I'm very aware of how precious things are, and sometimes we take them for granted. And so I have these two thoughts when we talk about migration. Could it happen to me that I need to leave my place, my home? What would make me have to do that, and could it happen?
We work with students from 135 different countries, which is quite unique, I think, particularly in Scotland, but maybe other parts of the UK as well, actually. It does have a really broad international reach. It's particularly through ESOL programs for where English is a secondary language.
Hello, my name is Anna. I'm from Ukraine, and I've been living in Scotland for over 2 years. Scotland gave me not only safety, but also opportunity for work and study. And at this moment, I'm taking ESOL course in Edinburgh College, where I can not only improve my English, but also study additional subjects, which will be very useful in my future. In Scotland, I'm building a new life, growing as a specialist, realizing my potential, while Ukraine always remains in my heart, like source of inspiration, strength, and unwavering faith in the future.
My name is Snyder, and I am from Colombia. I have been living here around 5 years now. The first reason was to learn English, so I achieved it. And the second reason was like have some change in my life. There are many different things, but if I be honest, I feel Scotland or Edinburgh like my home. I really enjoy to submerge in the culture and speak with the local people, learn about the culture, had friendship with many people. I feel very comfortable. I feel very happy. Sometimes I say to my friends, I am living in a small paradise.
My name is Séverine. I come from France. I'm in Edinburgh since 2009. Previously, I was for 2 years in London, where I volunteer in different organizations helping refugees and asylum seekers, and also connected to community garden. When I arrived in Scotland, I was looking for a job, and it was really difficult. Maybe my English was not as good as now. So I decided to do an ESOL course at Edinburgh College. Then I did my Cambridge certificate and started a course working with community at Edinburgh College. And as part of my course, I volunteer in a student association, and I came with the ideas of having a community garden on campus. Learning English at school is very different than speaking English in an English-speaking country. It can be very different. And I don't like that when people tell me that I have an accent. Sometimes say, what accent? What do you mean? When we live abroad, learning the language is very important because you need it for work, and English is taught all around the world, maybe in many different ways, but it's essential. It's a very important skill.
My name's Ranald McLean, and I'm one of the ESOL lecturers at Edinburgh College. Before Brexit, I suppose it was mostly a lot of economic migrants, a couple of migrants, refugees, asylum seekers. Now we're teaching predominantly migrants and asylum seekers from so many countries. Some of the countries I mentioned there: Ukraine, Afghanistan, Syria, Sudan. People who maybe don't want to be here, but they are here, and to help them integrate into society here, they need language. There's so much going on, in your head with the world or your country or your family or your friends. And I think for a lot of people, the classroom is almost like a safe space for a lot of people. So you can kind of almost forget the world to an extent, or forget the problems that you have, and focus on just being yourself. A lot of people say they come and it's to relax at college.
I'm not really a migrant. I've never thought I would like to move from Ukraine. So it's situation. So I'm refugee and I try to find shelter. That's why I'm here. I don't think we have really big difference between Ukrainians and Scottish people, because Ukraine, it's a part of Europe. So we are very, very similar people.
ESOL is really important because in most of the courses you also learn about living in the UK and about living in Scotland. So you do units on that, and it gives you a good grounding in the language. So I'll have a lot of students, and maybe they've never done English before at all, or very little, or some can't even read and write in their own languages. So we can teach that, like the ESOL teachers can help them develop that, so that it's easier to integrate, and it helps them with their kids, because the kids often pick up English really quickly at school, so then they'll come home with a letter and maybe need some help. So if the parents are learning English, that's great. And also for jobs, because then you can progress further in your career if you have English. So I think it's the most important step for integration and to learn the language, because it is a culture shock here, even for me. Even though I have, British background, British family members, when I moved here, no one tells you what is council tax, what's a national insurance number. Like, nobody tells you these things, so you have to learn. So I think being in an environment where everybody's learning and you can ask those questions is really helpful.
My name is Natalia Polyakhovich. I'm a landscape designer from Ukraine, from Kiev. I realized I need to improve my English, but 2 years ago I can't speak with you, but now I can. If I want to find a new job, I need to speak fluently. It's very important in my job.
But at the higher levels, what we found is that a lot of the students coming to us, they're already professionals. They've got skills, they've got careers, they've got qualifications, but actually they're not able to use them. And we want to be able to help them to use them for their own benefit, but also helping the economy of Scotland. If we've got these people who've got skills and who've got qualifications, but they're not working, then that's not good for Scotland. So we can really help to fill the skills gap with some of the students we've got if we can give them the employability skills and the language skills to enter the workplace. So I think just helping people to enter the workplace or enter education and then go on and live a full life contributing to society, economics of Scotland, I think that's how we can help them best.
Scotland has an aging population, so I think lots of new people coming in, young families. It's good for the country. There's also a lot of jobs in the UK. So, migration helps fill those roles. And I think it's good to have diversity because it's a global world, as it were. Everybody's from somewhere, and to be exposed to people from many different cultures, it's good for everyone. So in Scotland, I think it's a very positive thing. For the economy, I think there were lots of jobs that in the care sector, for example, hospitality and harvesting. There were a lot of jobs that maybe went unfilled or had a high turnover, or there were just difficulties getting people into those roles. So a lot of people have come from overseas, and they're quite happy to take jobs and work in different sectors and get more experience. They may have degrees and experience from their home countries, so they're bringing that richness and that background through to Scotland as well. So for the economy, I think it keeps a healthy economy.
I work to help people have more control over their new situation in this country by giving them language skills. And without language skills, it's really difficult to take control. So I see that as a really clear role that I have. And when people have more control over their situation, they can find work, they can contribute to the economy of the country. So that is all positive in my view. The other side of it is that when I look at our classes, I just see this really rich, wonderful group in that we're all part of the same team. We're all working together and we're all finding out about life in all parts of the world, and especially me. And so I believe that work that we do, understanding, sharing ideas, goes out into our communities. And I believe that helps society in Scotland.
I had made friends from different countries that I never imagined that. That is something nice. And I had learned about the culture as well. The college try to introduce as well the student to the culture, not just learn one more language. They try to encourage the student to submerge and learn and understand how the local people work. And that is one thing that I really enjoy, because when I go outside the college, I can experiment that thing, the celebration, the tradition, the food. And I say, oh, that I saw in last week in the college, on my last class, we discussed about something like that. It's a beautiful city, of course, beautiful country as well. But I had many local friends, and they are very friendly, they are very kind, and I love something about this country. Like, they try to focus in the positive things, in your skill, in your capacity. But my background is from South America. They normally focus sometimes in the negative thing, and that is completely different. That you really feel that people want to encourage you to continue growing and continue develop yourself.
On ESOL course at Edinburgh College, I met a lot of different nice people from different countries. And this course unite all of us. But all of people wanted to integrate in the Scottish culture. But I'm like Ukrainian. I would like to have my own Ukrainian voice in Scottish culture.
Two things, I suppose. First thing is that when we're talking about our classes and friendship and understanding and working together, I always see myself as part of that. So I count myself as a learner in my classroom because I learn so much every day from everybody that I meet in my room, in my classroom. And also, I'm always so excited about the next steps for people around me in the classroom because I see it as a huge potential for my country, really. And I always say we are so happy to have you here because we're lucky. We're lucky because there are so many things that people from all over the world are bringing to our classrooms, are bringing to our communities and our country. So I just see the potential as a really exciting thing.
I think when you migrate to another country for whatever reason, one of the things that you are looking for is something that you know, and food is one part of it. The communication around food is really important. It's breaking barriers. So having international people maybe showing different things on the table is a good way of breaking barriers and starting conversation, small conversation. It's helped to make the bridge between maybe some knowledge of English at school and more applied knowledge in an English life, English context or British context.
Well, the college is fantastic because we have lots of events that everybody is welcome to join. There's sports clubs, there's things like, markets where selling items and things like that, student projects, and within the ESOL classes themselves, there are so many people from so many different countries. Nobody feels left out. There's nobody speaking in a different language and maybe isolating others. The college really helps people feel welcome and feel integrated, and we have people from everywhere and they're all getting on really well. We do have many asylum seekers and refugees from all over the place. And I know that some people, they get social workers, they get extra help. There's lots of agencies that can assist.
Different ages, different nationalities, different sexualities, different languages, everything. It can cause conflict. Sometimes people just butt up against each other and there's just a lack of understanding or a misunderstanding. So in that way, I think the diversity in the college is great, not just for our students, but for the whole of the college population, because it's raising awareness for our Scottish students as well. It's raising awareness of these differences and these difficulties. Sometimes it leads to problems, but usually we can overcome those problems. And I just think it's helping to build a more tolerant society with a more global outlook for our Scottish students, as well as the migrants who are in the college.
Celebrates the diversity that we have at Edinburgh College, which is, it's a wonderful thing. You can just listening to the amount of different voices and accents and languages that you hear in the college is great. So it's a chance. We developed it a couple of years ago as a means to celebrate this. We kind of exchange with students. With the cultural day, the students got to share their culture with the college and with other students, of course. But also a big part of their course is not just language, but learning about the culture of Scotland in particular. And it is, some of the assessments are living in Scotland and they get into research projects about learning different aspects, history or geography, music, famous people, things. So it's the language is great to help with communication, of course, and with that you can continue to study other subjects as well. But to kind of guide students into studying about Scottish culture, you think, well, it makes people more comfortable here. If they can speak the language, if they know a little bit about the culture, the society, then people become more comfortable here. So it's a good thing. I think even the classroom just celebrates diversity, cultural diversity around the world, and that's the best we can do, I think, through language.
If you research in Google where is the country that had the best coffee of the world, you will find Colombia. Colombia had the best coffee of the world. There are another countries that had a quantity, but about the quality, Colombia had the best quality coffee of the world. So I hope the people that like coffee, they try Colombian coffee. Probably they will love coffee.
Whatever the reason why we decide to be outside our country, to live somewhere else, there is time where it can be very difficult to be far away from our family, far away from our roots. So being able to be outside and in contact with nature, it become very important. It's kind of grounded us, kind of give us air or breathing.
I can only see positives in the work that we do here at Edinburgh College for local communities, for Edinburgh, for Scotland.
I really like Scotland and Scottish people, very nice, very polite, absolutely amazing people and very beautiful country.
And I would like to say thank you for Scotland, for Scottish government, for Edinburgh College, for a lot of opportunities for me and for my future, that I feel here like at home. I have opportunity to study and of course for safety for me and a lot of other Ukrainian people.
You've heard the voice of our ESOL students and teachers illuminating their experiences.
Like Don Quixote, we fight soulless functionalism on our journey to integration, defended our identity and celebration human beauty.
We believe in investing in humanity. A culture of diversity is investment in the future, a future where everyone belongs.
So, dream big and soar high. Remember, nothing is impossible. Legit.
This is the United Us podcast, a story about bravery, connection, and power of coming together.
Thank you for listening to us.
Follow us on YouTube and check out the Edinburgh College Student Association website for more.
Stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, remember, it's all about us, united by Edinburgh College.
See you soon.